Survivors we are, survivors we are. Are you ready for the journey? Clones Karim is the name, yes indeed. Survivors we are.
Hi, Kronos Karim here. So last night it was arranged that me and my SOBs, my two best mates, are to meet up at the restaurant. And as I walk in, I get a really good surprise. I see my bestie and her friend having dinner there as well. So we exchange pleasantries, and I move over to my party. So we're sitting there, and we've ordered a Persian platter with ribs, lamb pieces, chicken pieces, chicken wings, a bit of rice, chips, and drinks. We sit there for about an hour and have a really good little catch up. And then after about an hour or so, both parties sit down together. Now, I'm going to slightly Pulp Fiction this story. So I've told you the beginning of last night's events. I'm now going to tell you the end of last night's events. And by the end of this story, we get to the middle bit of last night's events. So as the evening got on, I was left with just my original group again, the SOBs, where I would say the traumatizing part of my illness felt real again. My friends were asking me questions about my bag and how I cope with it, because I'm quite open, and they realise through the conversation with my Crohn's it causes me difficulty and it really affects my life. So one of the questions from them was, what do you do if the bag fails? When you're busy, has it ever fallen off? So I gave them one or two examples, running for a bus, sort of painting the walls and that kind of thing. Is just simple stuff, even something more than that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. And I could see by the looks that I got from them that you deal with something horrific like that on a daily basis. But this is how I process things, and I look at it from a humour perspective, because it's kind of, I have to deal with it, it's kind of my life. And I'm experiencing this, and I've got to deal with it, Anyway, it doesn't make it any less stressful for me, it's just something I live with. Other questions will ask, how often do you have this problem? When does it happen? How often do you even get a good night's sleep with it, So the reality of talking to these friends of mine really did affect them. They know I've got a bag. I mean, they've sat beside me when I've come out of operations, and but the aftermath of living with a bag isn't something that I talk about. I kind of kept it personal, but I felt like I needed to kind of share this, kind of Crohn's awareness. When when I sat down, when I was sitting there, I could see how disturbed they looked, the sadness in their eyes, and I kind of felt like I had to dig myself out of this conversation, because it kind of felt like the whole experience was going to kind of haunt me again, So getting back to the comedy aspect of it, and we started talking about how I could develop my Instagram to show kind of the funny side. Anyway, back to the middle part of last night's events, and like I said, both parties of friends are sitting together. Now I'm the only one sort of connecting the two groups, so I used this particular time to talk about the video I'm doing with you, but how I'm feeling kind of strange, and I haven't quite come out of my shell on my videos just yet. I've got a lot of Crohn's information in my head, but a lot of knowledge and kind of awareness that I want to put out there, but this kind of conversation feels kind of stale, and it doesn't really show me as a person. So they said, you're a funny guy, you have a lot to say, you make things humorous, you keep yourself sane by laughing a lot. Then I said to them, there are a few things that I would do with my Instagram page. One of them would be like making short sketches involving like bag fails and stuff like that. And when from a comedy perspective, and when I suggested that, the group could see that I was quite enthusiastic about the idea, and they started coming out with all kinds of brilliant bag fails. I have quite a high output, and they could see that whilst we were sitting down. I mean, they know anyway that I keep needed to get up and sort of have to keep leaving the table. I'm trying to find a polite way of saying going to the toilet, but they could see that I needed to keep going to the toilet. And then sketches for a second and third ideas began to sort of come to the table. I mean, I know we're sitting down sort of eating and what have you, but these brilliant ideas were coming out. They were so in tune with my sense of humour. You know, it was absolutely amazing to sit at that table, and all these ideas were coming out, and they were really kind of making me feel happy. It was great. I mean, I really would like to put some of these ideas out there. I'm quite enthusiastic, and I'd like to do it, but I might feel like I'd be stepping on someone's toes, or, you know, offending someone or something like that. But I'm not sure yet. But all I can say is last night filled me with so much joy, laughter and enthusiasm. The amount of love I had from this group last night was overwhelming. And so they really encouraged me with the ideas, and they were so on board with these ideas. And let's call it 4 hours or so, I kind of forgot my pain in the company of my friends, you know, and the traumas of the situation, things that I've been through, felt very distant. Now, there's a proverb: 2 heads are better than one, which means when 2 people work together, they're more likely to solve a problem than one person doing it alone. Now, with Crohn's disease, you kind of feel sometimes that you're on your own with your thoughts and problems, and it's not always easy to find someone or to hear your own thoughts being said back to you. So in this case, I'd say 5 heads are better than one. Corim out.
Survivors we are.